My boyfriend cheated on me whilst high on acid because he thought it was me. My partner and I joined our friends on a trip to a beach to try acid for the first time. There were only 5 of us, 2 boys and 3 girls, 2 couples, 1 extra girl. We took acid while there was still sunlight because apparently it takes ages to take effect, and we spent this time drinking beer near our tents with a campfire going on. Mind you, as we were descending into tripping balls on acid, we were also getting quite drunk. I'm very lightweight, so I didn't have much to drink. My partner on the other hand had plenty. When it started to kick, it was fun. It was funny. I felt like the sand was grassy and I kept hearing Billie Eilish singing to my ear when really it was the wind blowing so hard it was whistling. This is where it goes downhill. Maybe like 4 to 5 hours later, I decided to go on a walk and had 2 friends join me because I couldn't go to sleep. My partner wanted to stay in our tent because he wasn't feeling well, so I said sure. Our other male friend who was coming to walk with me told his girlfriend to stay with my BF so that she could look after him, in case anything goes wrong. We thought all was well, until we got back. When we returned, first thing I heard was just obnoxious moaning and breathing. Me and the others panicked, so we immediately went into my BF's tent and lo and behold, both naked, someone's GF on top of my BF. I ended up vomiting and passing out on the shore, but I heard a lot of yelling and crying. I woke up being in my tent and saw my BF sleeping next to me. Honestly, I had to really think whether I hallucinated him cheating or that it really happened. Our other friend's girlfriend had apparently left during the night without letting any of us know, so there were only 4 of us. My partner's excuse was that he genuinely thought that the girl was me. The smell, the eyes, the hair, etc. When I realized it was all real, I just cried and had been crying since. I've never felt so broken, betrayed, confused, and hurt at the same time. I want to make excuses for him and think maybe it was just a mistake, but he full-on cheated. 4 years down the drain, just like that. I'd been staying at my sister's since we got back, but he hasn't stopped texting/calling me to apologize and say that he's disgusted of himself and that he genuinely thought it was me. I haven't spoken to him since, but I'm so tempted to. I miss him, but I'm just so hurt. I'm so confused. Should I break up with him for it? Edit, he'd been planning to propose to me for a month. He apparently made a custom order for an engagement ring to suit what I specifically liked. Told him that he can forget about proposing, as he'd fucked up big time. For context, the night it happened he said that it was so dark in the tent he could barely see anything and that the only light source was the campfire behind the tent. He wasn't wrong in that part, but surely you could feel and hear the difference. The girl had a deeper voice than I did and smelled entirely different from me. We have different perfumes, and she was blonde. I dyed my hair straight ginger. Dropping the proposal bomb on me just left me all the more confused and torn. How am I supposed to break up with him when he had been planning this all along? I feel like the asshole now even when I know I'm not. He knows I'd been waiting for him to propose for over a year now. Comnet. Yet it's crazy how a lot of people are saying he couldn't confuse the girl for the GF while tripping. First time I took acid, I thought there was a fish in the wall on my room and I couldn't sleep thinking the fish would die, because how can he survive outside of the water? The room was pitch black and I definitely couldn't see anything. I was just convinced that the fish was there. Also I thought the floor was made of glitter and my then GF was a literal goddess. My blanket turned into an ocean, complete with whales and dolphins and shit swimming around. When I closed my eyes I could see planets being formed and rapidly going through life cycles. I had to get my phone charger and my old roommate asked me a question, looked at him and his face began to flush like a toilet. Started laughing and looked away like, bro, I love you, but I'm so fucked up right now that I legitimately cannot look at you. Spent 12.5 hours floating around the planets and watching the whales and dolphins. Mega rad, but I was completely incapable of looking at people. If I did for too long I genuinely believe I wouldn't recognize them. I did LSD once with my best friend of over 10 years. At one point in the middle of our trip he looked at me, burst into tears and pissed his pants. He thought I was his abusive stepmom, and he hadn't seen her in 20 years. It was probably 30+ minutes before I could convince him it was me. I know you're probably getting bombarded with messages, but I wanted to give my experience. For real. I once thought I was a worm and rolled around in the muddy sand on the beach. I once also thought I was Daenerys Targaryen and my boyfriend, who was mad, was a dragon I couldn't control and locked him in my basement for the rest of the night. Acid makes you do crazy shit. There was one time on shrooms where I thought I was a spaceship docking into another spaceship when me and my wife were getting to it. LOL, to me personally it sounds like your BF was taken advantage of. Yeah, but if she did actually rape him, do you think she'd tell you honestly? If this is the first time this has happened before that you know of, meet him in person, and I, as a guy, I would tell him that the only way you'll consider forgiving him is to check all of his media and for him to give you all his passwords to see everything. I wouldn't normally advocate this, but if I was innocent in this scenario, I would gladly do this without even the slightest hesitation. His reaction alone would likely be enough to tell you the truth, and if there's nothing there, then I'd honestly say it's safe to at least be around him and hear him out. Maybe not fully trust him, but compassionately listen and give him some platonic love. That could have been a horrifying experience, and he's likely seriously scared of losing you and or isolated. Even if he did get back together with you, and he was innocent, he will never probably act the same way around you again. He might even be seriously anxious that you're gonna take revenge or something even if he's innocent. I'm not saying stay or go back to the relationship, but it sounds like your BF was raped. He was too out of it to consent, and that's kind of the thing that needs to be discussed with him. If anything, I'd say don't do party nights for a while, get some space and therapy for this. If you decide to go back, you need to be 1000% that you can trust him, and vice versa. Imagine implying that it's fine to break up with a person if they were possibly raped because it's cheating. Next story 2. I feel like I am the driver in my relationship and I am taking on the masculine roles. My boyfriend and I have been together 7 years. I am going to keep this as short and sweet as possible. I love my boyfriend, he is a great person and my best friend. My issue is I literally take care of everything. I pay the bills and I have to remind him to send me the money. Everything is in my name. He doesn't even own a credit card. I made him show me his credit score. Since we started talking about marriage, it's a 4. How is this possible? Needless to say, the mortgage, 2 BMW cars and everything else is in my name. I woke up triggered this morning because I made soup for us for dinner last night. I kept it on the burner for him to eat because he was getting home after me. Thank God the burner is turned off, but he left the soup out to rot overnight. He forgets to blow out candles. We have a cat who can knock it over and burn the house down. I feel like all I do is take care of him and I don't feel like it is reciprocated. I am always hustling and pushing to make more money, and when I come up with more ideas for my business he makes fun of me or mansplains how it should be done. I make $170,000 a year doing what he does, he makes maybe $70K. He tells me he's been doing it longer than me and I'm doing it wrong or weird. He is always nitpicking me. It's like he thinks he's superior to me. He often says I wouldn't be where I am today if I had never met him. I would agree to a degree, but he would probably still be making $25,00 a year if it weren't for me. I sent him a picture of myself in this sheer dress yesterday and he replied, "Okay. I would like to say looks-wise I'm above average pretty." I get asked out weekly by men. My own boyfriend can't even compliment me, but he can whine that I don't have enough sex with him. Recently I noticed he was all over a girl's Instagram, liked every single picture, but every like was prior to 2023. She's really beautiful, my friend said she looks just like me. I saw it and said to him how embarrassing that is because we are in a relationship and it's disrespectful. He explained it was from when we were broken up. He unliked the photos. The odd part is, I creeped on her Instagram a week later and she blocked me, on my business pages too. I don't think I watched her stories or liked any pictures. It's kind of strange. TLDR, I broke up with him over a year ago for 6 months because he wasn't contributing financially to the household and I hadn't been proposed to yet and I was over him taking me for granted. He still had an apartment that he didn't live in up until last year that he would work on his art in. I think he was cheating on me for years but would never admit it. He finally got rid of the apartment last year when we got back together. I have a 12-year-old son he was helped me raise since 2018. I feel like I deserve more. Am I nitpicking too much? What can I do to make changes in order to make this even work? Would I be better off just being alone? Comnet. What got me was that I sent him a sexy photo and he just okay. What kind of response is okay? I get it if my husband is busy when I do that and can't respond right away, so he will do a quick damn baby. I vote drop the dude. Anytime I see a post that starts with my partner is a great person, I know that they will, without fail, in fact be a really shitty person. You are being taken advantage of, Sounds like he prefers that other girl over your long-term loving relationship. He likes the way you take care of him, but doesn't want to do the same for you. You sound like a very wonderful woman, and I think you can do better. If you think he has been cheating on you the whole time, what do you need him for? You are a go-getter in the relationship and he is jealous of all the success that you have. Never let someone tell you that you're not a successful and worthy person. I would rethink this relationship and continue to do your best in everything you do. Good luck. He only texted you an okay and a laughing emoji. The audacity. The disrespect. You're putting yourself out there and he sends a laughing emoji. You deserve better, queen. I love how you're like, he's great, he's my bestie. Well, let me tell ya this. He's not. If he truly cared about you and really was your best friend, he would be helping you. This is a major issue, babe. You're so young still. Sorry you've spent all this time with someone that doesn't really respect you. Has it always been like this? If so, I hate to say this, but you're the cash cow, babes. Why does he need to help if you do it all? I had a hard time finding the great person you mentioned at the start of your post. I'm sure you're venting about the bad, and included nothing of the good, so only you can decide if the way he treats you and speaks to you is outweighed by that good or not. But, if I was dating someone who mansplained my job, couldn't be bothered to help around the house, had to be forced to pay his share and laughed at me for trying to start a playful moment, I'd be out of there.